amount was $1,602.56. The actual interest amount is $1,602.56 minus $1,518, so $84.56. And the actual total cash advance cost, you have to include the $18 that you initially, had in fees, is going to be $102.56. So basically, you're just losing roughly over $100 to take this cash advance. But I guess you got to do what you got to do. Got to pay rent, got to pay bills, got to survive. So some people, take that cash advance or get a line of credit. Or example 2, suppose you were taking out a bank loan of $1,500 for 3 months at 6% interest rate company. How much interest would you pay? So now you have a bank loan, it's $1,500, interest rate is 6%. But the term is in months, compounded monthly. See that? Because it's compounded monthly, n is equal to 12. And it's the same period from January to April. So that's 3 months. January, February, March. Great. And you have n is 3, your interest rate divided by 12, do the amount. Following loan would cost you $22.61. So this is why it's better to get a loan than take cash advances from a credit card. Credit cards companies are known for charging very high interest rates. It's just very easy to take money because you just go to a machine. You don't have to go to a bank, talk to someone, get a loan, get approved. But yeah, the cash advance will cost you about 4.5 times as much as a bank loan. And then there's balance transfer. Suppose you have a balance of $6,524 on credit card that offers 11.9% interest. You get an offer from another credit card company for a balance transfer at 0% interest for 6 months. Afterwards, your interest rate increases to 20% almost. They charge a balance transfer fee of 5% of the balance being transferred. So this is an example if you have 2 credit cards. You already used one credit card and you have around $6,524 charged to it, meaning that's how much money you owe on that first credit card. Now there's an opportunity for you to apply for a second credit card. Now this second credit card is giving you a promotional price. They're like, okay, you know what? For the first 6 months, you're going to pay 0% interest, meaning no interest. But after that, it's going to get jacked up to almost 20%. So is it worth it for you to do that? It depends. If you can pay off that amount within 6 months, then absolutely. But once that 7th month comes up, you're going to get charged 20%. So you got to do the math then to figure out if it's worth it. So the first month, your amount is $6,524. You're going to multiply it by that interest rate. How do you calculate the interest rate? Well, what's the interest rate? It's this divided by your compounding period, which is daily 365. Interest rate is $65. One. First month. Oh, they're doing monthly, sorry. So N is 1. Apologies. Second month, they're taking that amounts. One, you're calculating how much interest rate, payment of 3%. Oh, sorry, I should mention here. So here's the solution. So the new credit card company is going to charge you a balance fee of 5%, right? Which is this amount. So balance transfer fee, 5% of this is $326.20. So balance transfer fee will be $326 for you to, and 20 cents to transfer. Now, how much interest would be on your own credit card? You must perform a series of calculations, one for each month. Since minimum payments 3% will be made on each of your payment due dates, this will lose the balance on each month. So what they're saying is, if you were to take that deal of the second credit card, this is the amount that you're going to pay, $326.20 because of that balance transfer fee. But let's imagine we don't take that deal. Let's say if we just keep it on the first credit card for 6 months, how much interest are we going to end up paying? So the amount is $6,524. We multiply it by the interest rate. As every month we're doing this, so it's just N is 1. We calculate the interest, boom, and we pay 3%. Why 3%? Because that's the minimum payment that you have to pay. So we're paying 3% of the amount, total amount that we calculated, $197.68. We pay that amount. So now the next month, we're going to have a reduced amount of $6,391.51. How did we get that? Well, we take the initial amount that we had from the end of the first month, subtract the payment that we made, and this is what's left over in our credit card now. So now we calculate the interest rate on this amount. Same thing, same rate, same for 1 month. Interest rate is here. Then we have to pay 3% again for the next month. So now we calculate, well, at the beginning of our third month, now we're going to have this amount here, $6,261.71. We're going to take that amount. We'll do the exact same calculation, same rate for 1 month, calculate the interest rate. The interest, that we have to pay. We're going to pay another 3% down payment to reduce the bill. Now for our fourth month, the beginning amount is $6,134.54. Calculate the interest rate. Same calculation. We get an interest, pay 3% again. Fifth month, our beginning amount is now $6,009.96. Calculate the interest rate, pay the 3%, and on our 6th month, we are at $5,887.91. Initially, calculate the interest rate, boom, and now we pay another 3%. So this will add up to, just to add the interest, because we're not adding the down payment, because the payment, that's the amount we're actually reducing our credit, our loan. So that's not money lost. Interest is just money lost, meaning it's a fee. So total interest is going to be $371.78. So which is a better deal? Well, the $326.20 is a better deal because you're saving up $50. But then it also depends on if you are going to pay it off in that 6 months, because now you're tied to the new credit card. So should you transfer? The decision to transfer money from one card to another depends on many factors, including whether you will be only making minimum payments on your account. When you think you may be able to pay off your balance, the interest rates on the cards, the amount of balance transfer, the rewards and incentives on cards, and so on. Be careful when making decisions about credit cards. 0% interest for 6 months may seem attractive, but it is not always the best option. You must weigh the pros and cons of the decisions you make in relation to credit cards and choose wisely, because choices you make can have a big impact on your financial future. Very important. I actually don't personally recommend credit cards for young people. It's dangerous if you're not. It depends on your mentality and your discipline. I know people in my life who've maxed out their credit cards and have ruined their financial future, because now they're in debt. They owe thousands of dollars, and every time they're making a payment of like a couple $100, it doesn't matter because the interest is a couple $100. So they really are stuck in a loop where they're forever going to be in this debt. So I would caution, please, 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 if you are using a credit card, pay the full amount as fast as you can. Do not keep a loan. So yeah. All right. You take out the money as cash advance, count by daily, your creditor charge $3 plus 2% of the transaction. Oh, here in your notebook, compare the cost of borrowing. Here we have $2,200 for 4 months, 120 days, using the following 3 methods. So this is compounded daily. This is the rate. So you have to take that and divide it by 365. It's 120 days, so we know how many days it is. And you have a flat fee of $3 plus 2% of the transaction, 2% of this. Let's figure out how to calculate the total cost to you. So $3 flat fee plus 2% is going to be $47. That's the initial cost right there. So your principal amount is going to be $2,247, not $2,200, because you have to count the fee that they're going to charge you. Now your interest rate is 0.2199. Your account money period is 365, and then your amount is 120. So your time is 120 days. Your interest divided by 12. Do the multiplication. And then your bed mass and your interest amount is $215.41. So the cash advance is going to cost you $215.41. What about use a convenience check, also known as a credit card check, to pay for purchase? The annual interest rate on your credit card is 11.99% compounded daily, and your creditor charges a $1 transaction fee. Sorry, 1% transaction fee. So 1% is $22, so automatically 22 plus 2200 is 2222. Your interest rate is a lot lower. The amount is still 120 days. It's still divided by 12. Oh no, sorry. So this is divided by 12, as opposed to this also because it's compound. Did they say monthly anywhere? Let me see. They didn't say monthly anywhere. So why did it divide by 12? Oh, you know what? Credit cards are all with monthly. I apologize. I forgot to mention that. Because it's like a monthly statement. So interesting. Interesting stuff. All right. Let's take that rate, divide by 12. And then we calculate interest, and it's $111.32. So much cheaper than a cash advance. You take out a bank loan, 5.5% compounded monthly. So here, there's no initial fee. You just have 4 months. So 4, you have the interest rate divided by 12. It's $40.61. Clearly, some ways of borrowing money will cost you a lot more than others. When it comes to credit cards, it's really worth doing the math. Yeah, basically don't use credit cards when you're making purchases unless you're going to pay it off right away. And then in your math journal, you can do that. So yeah, that's about it for today. At this point, I'm going to say any questions and leave it up to you guys.